Are you waking up tired, running to the bathroom at night, or feeling a strange pressure you can't quite explain? Many men over 50 assume it's just part of aging, but that assumption is quietly robbing them of their energy, sleep, and even their confidence. I'm Dr. Barbara O'Neill, a board-certified urologist, and I've spent decades helping men reclaim control of their health. Today, I'll reveal the daily habit of silently swelling your prostate and why stopping it may change everything. Tell me where you're watching from, and if this helps, gently like and subscribe. But here's what most men don't suspect. Prostate problems aren't just about age or genetics. That's the story we've all been told. You hit your 50s or 60s, things slow down and your body changes. But what I see every day in my clinic paints a different picture. One simple habit done quietly and consistently for years is quietly fueling prostate swelling, and most men don't even realize they're doing it. It's sitting, not once, not twice, but for hours, every single day, long mornings reading the paper, afternoon drives, evenings spent watching the news or scrolling the phone. It's easy, it feels relaxing, and frankly, it doesn't seem like you're doing anything wrong, but that stillness, that subtle compression of your lower pelvis, it changes everything. When you sit for extended periods, especially in soft chairs or recliners, your body weight settles directly onto the pelvic floor, the muscles and soft tissues surrounding your prostate. Blood flow slows, circulation drops, and over time, that stagnation leads to low-grade inflammation and congestion in the area. Your prostate, which is already sensitive to hormonal and vascular changes, begins to swell slowly, silently. It's not your fault. You didn't know. And it's not about blame. It's about awareness. Because once you see it, you can start changing it. Just noticing how long you sit and how often is a powerful first step. And here's what most men never realize. This habit doesn't just affect urination, it changes what's happening hormonally too. But the truth most men never hear. The prostate is one of the most reactive glands in your body, especially after the age of 50. It's not just a passive organ that swells without reason. It responds dramatically to changes in your daily routine, your hormones, and even your circulation. Let me explain. The prostate sits just below your bladder and wraps around your urethra, like a soft ring surrounding the tube that drains urine. When it's calm, you barely know it's there. But when it becomes inflamed or swollen, even slightly, it puts pressure on that urethra. That's why you start to feel urgency, a weaker stream, or that frustrating sensation of not fully emptying your bladder, even after you just went. But the root cause isn't always just age. As testosterone naturally declines, another hormone, estrogen, begins to take more space in a man's body. That hormonal shift can trigger a process called DHT conversion, where testosterone is turned into a more aggressive form that fuels prostate growth. Combine that with chronic inflammation from poor circulation, poor sleep, or even stress, and the gland begins to enlarge, quietly and consistently. Now here's what most men ignore. If you find yourself waking up more than once at night to urinate, or you're pushing harder to start your flow, those are early warnings. Your body's way of whispering before it starts shouting. But the real danger isn't the swelling itself. It's what happens when men ignore it for years. Now here's what most men don't realize. They don't come into my clinic because of prostate problems. They come in because they're exhausted. They can't sleep. They wake up 2, 3, even 4 times a night. And by morning, they feel like they haven't rested at all. What they don't know is that the real culprit is their prostate. It's called nocturia, the need to urinate multiple times during the night. And it silently robs men of deep, restorative sleep, the kind of sleep your body needs to repair, balance hormones, reduce inflammation, and restore energy. But when you're waking up over and over again, never reaching that deep REM state, your body stays in a stress response. Cortisol rises, testosterone drops, inflammation lingers. And your prostate? It stays irritated and swollen. This creates a cruel feedback loop. The more disrupted your sleep becomes, the worse your hormonal health gets. And the worse your hormonal balance, the more reactive your prostate becomes. You wake up more often, feel more exhausted, and slowly, over weeks or months, begin to feel like a shell of yourself. Irritable, foggy, less patient with loved ones, less desire for intimacy, less drive. But hear this, it's not weakness, it's biology, and it's treatable. One small thing you can start doing tonight. Notice what time you're waking up, and whether it's always the same. That signal can tell us a lot, and this brings us to the most overlooked truth. Relief doesn't start with medication. Now here's what surprises most men. They come in expecting a complex solution, maybe a new medication or an invasive procedure. But so often, the very first step toward relief isn't adding anything. It's removing something, one daily stressor that the prostate was never designed to handle. And that's chronic, uninterrupted sitting. That's it. I'm not talking about completely changing your life overnight. I'm talking about one simple shift. Standing or walking for just 5 minutes every hour during the day. That's all. Set a reminder. Stretch. Take a lap around the kitchen. Shift your posture. By doing this, you restore circulation to the lower pelvis. You reduce the pooling of blood and lymphatic fluid that puts pressure on the prostate. And you give that sensitive gland a chance to breathe again. See, the prostate thrives on movement, not high-intensity workouts, but gentle, regular motion that keeps inflammation down and oxygen flowing through the surrounding tissues. When you're still for too long, pressure builds, and with it comes swelling, urgency, discomfort. But when men begin standing more, walking more, and simply noticing when their body's been stuck in one position too long, that's when things change, not just physically, but emotionally. They start to feel more in control, less helpless, more connected to their body again. This shift doesn't promise overnight transformation, but done consistently, it's powerful because it treats the root, not just the symptoms. And once men make this change, something surprising happens, not just in the prostate, but in how they feel overall. I want you to hear this clearly. It is not too late. I've worked with men in their 60s and 70s who believed decline was inevitable. They thought low energy, poor sleep, and constant bathroom trips were just the price of getting older. They were wrong. Your body is not broken. It's responding to years of signals. And when you start changing those signals, healing begins. Circulation improves, inflammation settles, hormones recalibrate, and slowly, quietly, your confidence returns. You don't need shame, you don't need fear, you need clarity and the willingness to treat your health with the same dedication you've given your family, your career, your responsibilities. You still deserve energy, you still deserve calm, restful nights, and you still deserve to feel strong, not just in your mind, but in your body. This isn't about turning back the clock. It's about taking control of what's still yours. If you found this valuable, I invite you to join our community and subscribe so you never miss guidance designed specifically for men like you. This channel exists for one reason, to help men over 50 reclaim confidence, energy, and deep restorative sleep without confusion or fear. That daily habit we discussed, once you understand it, you're no longer powerless. Awareness becomes action. Action becomes relief. Take care of your health because your strength still matters. Your sleep matters and you are worth protecting. You don't have to accept decline. You can choose a different path. I'm here to walk it with you. I'll see you in the next video.